I'll take the under on the orthodontist that made
He
the
was. You remember? You remember he bopped the ball on the guy's head?
Okay, go ahead.
Micah Parsons agrees with Brew. During Micah's football camp, he sat down with Sports Illustrated's Pat Benson and outlined his goals for the upcoming season. In full, it's Super Bowl or nothing, and being the best defensive player in the world. In short, S-Bob. Brew, your reaction. What's that?
I'm waiting for apologies from my.
I thought it was a Hulk Hogan type thing. You want the crowd.
Why? What do you want apologies for?
When I said the Cowboys are S-Bob, y'all mocked me.
Yes.
Like they're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or something. I mean,
They just
the Cowboys are always S-Bob because Tom Brady was there.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are always S-Bob.
All right.
And Micah they are, Nick. They're the Cowboys. It's like the Lakers. They're always championship or bust. Right. Period. They're the Lakers. Nothing else satisfies.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Micah has come around and is taking my advice. And I'm not even going to focus on Micah. I'm going to focus on the Cowboys. Since they are starting to see things my way, then see this my way. Jerry Jones, take it a step further.
He's going to talk about
and end your post-game interviews, end your weekly radio interviews, and then you will be able to go to Micah and say, Micah, we are winning the Super Bowl this year, my man. All I want to focus on is football. And I'm done with my interviews this year. I'm not doing them anymore. And I want you to focus only on football and get rid of your podcast. And I think Micah would do it if Jerry set the example.
I really thought you were going to say embrace the rest, Bob, and get CeeDee Lamb signed and get Micah signed and get but it's the media stuff again. I don't think Jerry's interviews have much to do with whether S-Bob or not. But I am so surprised that this is your reaction. I thought you'd be crestfallen.
Here's where it sets the tone. Crestfallen?
Yeah,
wow.
Crestfallen. Wilds.
That he agrees with?
Wilds, right after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. What was before he had even gotten on the plane to Disney World, what was the one and one only tweet Patrick Mahomes sent out?
Oh, never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
Okay. You got a tattoo.
Do you think I would have been on here preening about that if he had tweeted out, I have no doubts? It kind of, or whatever. I don't know. Oh, the quote's on there. He said, it's Super Bowl or nothing.
Yep.
Now, I'm not an acronym expert, but I don't think it says S-Bon above it.
No.
It says
like
he
French.
had the perfect opportunity, Brew, and he said, you know what? Even if I agree with this man, I'm not giving him the satisfaction.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Okay.
Attention to detail.
Oh, yeah.
Penalties, silly plays, not being focused when it comes playoff time.
Yeah.
Not S-Bob. It's S-Bob. That's the difference between winning and losing.
That's a good take. That's a good take. But here's the thing. See, it's about the spirit, not the letter.
Oh.
Okay? Like, remember when David Stern eliminated like half the Knicks team?
Yeah.
Because Patrick Ewing was 50 feet away, just wandering on the court. He should have let the spirit of the rule dictate the terms, not the letter.
Got it.
And I'm about the spirit, not the letter. And Micah, so we good.
Okay.
I love the spirit of the law.
Okay. That's the end of the segment, and they don't really think they said much of anything. They kind of went off the rails pretty early on. What I find interesting is that Brew has talked about this a lot, obviously outside of the whole S-Bob thing, but he's talked about how the Cowboys are always talking and talking and talking, and he sees that as a problem, which is why he kind of emphasized even in this segment about Jerry and the interviews and the podcast with Micah. And I would think that him saying this, although it proves Brew's point, obviously, about the whole S-Bob thing, but also, like, what are you talking about right now? Right? Like, it's Super Bowl or nothing. And it's like, well, then it's going to be nothing, because under his own words, he said, the Cowboys better get better because we're not good enough to win. And this was before the draft, before free agency, and now they didn't get better. So why are they going to win? It just doesn't make any sense. And I don't blame a quarterback or any player that for that matter, not a quarterback, but any player for saying like, it's all about winning a Super Bowl. We want to win a Super Bowl this season, Super Bowl or nothing, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not even going to hate him for saying that, but it is the problem when you have an incredibly noisy franchise, noisy locker room, roster, whatever, and they do it. It's just talking and talking and talking and talking. Because again, I look at it where if I'm a Cowboys fan and I hear this, and I'm like, okay, Super Bowl or nothing, obviously. Like you've been saying that, right? Like it's just like these types of little sound bites and quotes always land so weird to me. And it's like, here's the question, I guess, to answer it more directly. Love Parsons embracing the S-Bob mantra. And it's just like, a lot of these teams, a lot of these players are thinking that, right? When they're going into this season, last season, let's just use last season as a frame of reference. They were expecting to win. They were thinking Super Bowls on their mind. They're not like, we just want to win the division. We just hope we can go, 6-0 in our division. That's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, I want to win a Super Bowl. And Micah is also saying, and I want to be the best defensive player in the world. And I also agree with that, right? It is the mentality. Patrick Mahomes' agenda every single year, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, any of these guys is, I want to be the best quarterback, the best player in my position, and I want to win a Super Bowl. That is always the goal. That is always, the agenda for these players. That's what they want. They want to be the best at their position, and they want to win every single season, no matter what. So that's why, like, this whole thing, this conversation, just kind of, to me, always just feels weird, because it's kind of like, it's just like, well, obviously, like what are we talking about here? And it's just like, it just becomes kind of silly conversation. And I do chalk it up at this point, I suppose, to the fact that it's mid-July, and I've kind of had to say this a few times recently, because it just feels like we're reaching so hard now for stories, and we are so close. Colin Cowherd said that this week apparently is the slowest week in all of sports media. I don't know why this week especially, more than others, but Colin usually doesn't make that stuff up. Usually when he says that, it's based off of like real evidence, and we saw all these guys went on vacation. Colin was gone for 17 days. They were gone for over a week. They didn't come back until Tuesday, depending on when you're watching the video today. So, like, it's just like everybody was on vacation. I don't think I've even seen Stephen A. Smith and Shanahan. Why can't I think of his name right now? Shannon Sharp, on First Take. Like, it just seems like everybody was on vacation. And I don't know why maybe this week especially is, like, extra. Or if it's just because it's, like, the last chance everyone has for a break until the football season really starts to begin. But it's just, like, it just feels like reaching for content for either controversy, because we're going to either be like, I can't believe Micah's saying this. He needs to focus on blah, 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 blah. Or it's like, this is amazing. This is great. This shows that he's serious about winning. It's just like, I don't know. I guess so. Either way, you can make the argument either way, right? Like, it's just kind of, absurd to me. But I think that's kind of one of the pros and cons about the Cowboys franchise as a whole, because they are so wildly popular. You hear all the great things, and you hear if someone farts on the bus, right? You hear so-and-so farted on the bus. Is this a big deal, little deal, or no deal? It's like, I don't know, man. He ate a bunch of food. He had some, tacos, and now he's got gas. Like, I don't know. Is it a big deal? Like, just a few days ago, we were talking about Dak Prescott in a boot. It's like, whatever happened to that story? And now we're focused on, it's Super Bowl or nothing. We're like, is CeeDee Lamb going to get signed? What about Micah? Is Micah going to get signed? Like, what's going on with Dak? Like, it's just like, where's the actual, like, things that matter with the Cowboys? And that's the problem. We always hear so much about the things that don't matter, the nonsense. And that's why the Cowboys, more than anything, end up being a reality TV show. They just do. It just feels like you're always watching an episode of, like, Desperate Housewives. I mean, I've honestly only maybe watched, like, 1 or 2 episodes of that show randomly, so I don't really know, but that's what it feels like. It just feels like that's what it is. Like, just like some dumb reality show where people are saying stuff, and then we react to it, and it's just like, like I said this before as well, like, I honestly feel bad if you're a Cowboys fan. Like, if you're a legitimate Cowboys fan, like, I can't see this being enjoyable. Like, if this was my team and I'm watching these shows, which I obviously love to watch, if this is the type of conversations that they keep having about my team, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to listen to it. Like, I'd literally skip over it, because I'd just be like, what is this? Like, what are we talking about anymore? Right? I mean, we've had like 100 different segments about will Caleb Williams execute the offense, and why are we having those conversations with Dak? You know, what can Dak do offensively to improve his game? Like, what will be the plan? Where, even if we have like silly conversations about Ezekiel Elliott, like, what will Zeke's actual role be in the offense? What can Zeke actually do to benefit the Dallas Cowboys, if anything at all? Right? Like I'd rather have almost like those conversations more than just whatever any of this stuff is. So I don't know. That's just my rant on that topic, because it's just like because again, like I watched this clip and I'm like waiting for actual substance, and just it wasn't. There was just like nothing there. Just much ado about nothing. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys think about, I guess, Micah embracing the SBOB mantra and just the general media around the Cowboys as a whole? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I'm going to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.